Today's guest was on This Is My Car just a few weeks ago. He just received a car that has been in production for almost 2 years, and we were very excited to have him back. Craig Rosenman is a real estate owner and developer in the New York metro area and an avid car collector. Some of you will recognize, but most of you will be drooling over the car that he brought for us today. Let's take a look. Hey, Craig. Are we shaking hands yet, or we're still? We're almost there. We're almost at handshaking, right? So welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
No kidding, man. So
I brought the other toy.
You brought the other toy, and man, was I looking forward to this. You know, I was saying to the guys when the car pulls up, I've seen a lot of nice cars. You know, and
You have a lot of nice cars.
well, I do, but I've seen a lot of nice cars, and I always love seeing them. But every once in a while, I get that butterfly in my stomach. You know what I mean? When you really see something special, you know, you can't explain it. It's not fake. It's like so genuine. When you pulled up in this thing this morning, as much as I was anticipating it, I was like, holy beep. You know what I mean? Really beautiful, man. Really beautiful.
Thank you.
So congratulations on having an incredible car, and I am so excited to be driving this thing. You have no idea. But before we do that, I just really have to ask you and I know that a lot of the people always ask this, what made you go Gunther?
Well, you know, when they first released the prototype, I read a lot about it. Obviously, I got very excited about it. I was in California with Emory, just checking out the progress on things, and the car was just about done at that time. And so when I was out there, I went to Gunther Werks, and I took the car for a drive, and you know, it was one of those things where you just like, geez.
So you were checking on the Emory car, and you?
Well, you know, I planned it that I made sure that if I was going to be there, I might as well go to a couple places out there, and you know, it was one of those things like, okay, this car is pretty awesome.
So color-wise, was it an easy choice? A variant of what looks like Voodoo Blue from Porsche? What
So
made you choose
this is a shade or two darker than the Voodoo Blue that Porsche sells. But it wasn't actually the first choice. The first choice was like a Nardo gray, and there were a whole bunch of variants that we were playing with. And you know, when we did the mock-ups on the clamshells and everything, it didn't seem to be a special enough color, and it didn't pop the way a car that this special really needed to be.
Yes, that's the word. The color needs to be as special as the car and its lines. And Nardo's beautiful, but maybe falls a little short of this spectacular type of design. But I know the angst on choosing the right color, because once you commit, it's like, oh, is that the right one?
Oh yeah, I mean, it always in your head is like, oh, did I do it right?
Yeah, but you can't.
But you know, when you see it,
come on.
I think we got it right.
Yeah, you got beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So then, you know, I want to get to some other stuff on this car, but the wheels, I know that they have a 5-spoke wheel that Gunther uses. You chose to go with this wheel because?
Well, a couple of reasons. One, it kind of harks back to the BBS style wheel. And the other thing is, you know, yes, they're only making 25 cars, but so far nobody else has chosen this wheel.
Okay.
And so, you know, they're doing a bunch of blue cars, and I'm the only one with this wheel, so I thought that was also.
Isn't it amazing? Even out of 25, you need to find ways to make it unique. I mean, come on. No one's ever going to see you guys at the same time unless you have a reunion or you're
right, probably not, especially on the East Coast.
Especially on the East Coast, no doubt.
That being said, I happen to love this wheel, and we did like a champagne center, and playing the side stripes off the wheel, you know, the color matched. I thought that was a nice detail as well.
Wait till you guys see the interior. We're going to tease everyone with that one. So let's take a look. I want to get back to the power plant because, wow. I mean, there's every time you open something here, it's just as spectacular as what you looked at before. So let's take a quick look at that, and we'll talk more about everything.
Sure.
All right? Okay, so this is some important stuff going on back here before we open up the deck lid. Gunther Werks, is that like the way they have that X there, is that a thing? Or just
no, I think it's
just a design element
just
of
a
theirs?
design element.
But I've seen that on, is that all their cars? They put that little X, or is
yes.
it? Okay, so that's it. And now explain this, the paintwork. You exposed the carbon fiber here. That was important.
So obviously you have the hood, the roof, and this is actually one of the first cars that we also brought the carbon stripe down the tail. And so all these body panels are carbon. It's not a laying, something on top. The whole piece is carbon. So when they do an exposed piece like this, they have to when they lay out the carbon, they have to lay it out perfect.
Right.
And then they paint.
So I think everyone needs to know this. When you're looking at this car, this is the real deal. This is actually carbon body panels, and they left this exposed. So they painted the car and left these areas exposed.
And then they clear coat.
And then they clear coat, so it kind of feels almost like it's one layer.
Right.
Incredible. This is where the detail comes in on these cars. It's fantastic. Forget the fact that the paint work and the execution is incredible, but this detail over here is what you fall in love with. Really special, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, they do a great job with their carbon work, and they do it all in-house.
Really?
So,
oh, is that right? Impressive. So, okay, let's pop this open. And I noticed before, this is featherweight stuff. What does the car weigh?
2,600 pounds.
Wow, unbelievable. And 2,600 pounds, 440 horsepower.
Yep. 4-liter
power plant, air-cooled, started off as a base 993 motor that usually pushes about 200 and change. And wow, this is the result of Gunther Werks work. So tell us what we're looking at here.
So obviously they've enlarged the displacement to 4 liters.
Yep.
We've also removed all of the compressor, everything is off the car so that you're not taking any of the horsepower away from the engine as well.
But it does have air conditioning. It's electronic.
It's electric air conditioning.
It's electric, which is in the smuggler's box, I'm assuming.
Yep.
So they make the engine nice and clean by removing all those ancillary parts that are not necessary.
The little details. But
I'm excited for people to see this. I really am, because when you look at a car like this and you pop open the deck lid, a lot of times it's like it's very, very rare that you open up a deck lid and even get more impressed at what you're seeing on the outside. And this is really, really special. Awesome, absolutely incredible. So now let's do this. Let's put this down and let's go take a look at the inside. How about that?
Sure.
So talking about drama, so before we go on the interior, which is what we came over here for, I want to look at the hips on this thing, and even the way they rolled the fenders. It's just so dramatic and so beautiful. So just a little bit before we go on the inside, these fenders, they're all carbon fiber and they're all made by Gunther, except for the
doors.
The doors. And the doors, and that's basically, we were talking, that's for the safety. It has the side impact beams.
It has the original side impact beams, and they didn't want to mess with it.
Yeah, and that's the only thing you can actually feel that has some weight to it. You feel the deck lid and the engine cover, and it's really like a paperweight. But and what's nice too, but you still get that nice 993.
Yeah, solid.
Clicky, solid. Yeah, absolutely. Gorgeous, absolutely spectacular. The first thing I noticed, and I sat in one of these seats before, they're extraordinarily comfortable. I mean, the factory does an incredible job with the RS seats, today's RS seats. These are right there. They really support you. They're very comfortable. But tell us a little bit about the choices of the carbon fiber and what we're looking at here was fabric and stuff.
Sure. So we wanted to obviously play off of the blue in the car and bring that into the interior, but also the motorsports, like 911R, and also a little bit of the classic Porsche houndstooth, we did with the inserts. And I think it works really well together. This is actually the 911R houndstooth Pepita.
Yeah, yep.
And so it has a little bit of a silvery hue to it. This car is, so far, the only Gunther car where the original rear seats were kept.
That's a good dad. I mean, after
I have 2 young kids.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be where, oh, well, we can't take the Gunther because, oh, I can only take one kid.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not? When I was young, my dad had a 911, or a couple of them.
Back seats.
And my brother and I, we used to love to sit in the rear, go wherever.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, let's take the 911. And my dad's like, well, you have to get in the back.
Oh,
no
man.
problem.
Those memories.
Yeah, yeah.
And you want to give those memories to your kids, and I think that's unbelievable.
You're going for 10, 15-minute drive.
Get some ice cream or whatever, and it's like your own little cocoon back there. It's nice.
Yeah.
And unlike your other car, it doesn't have that big bar in front of your face you have to remove, which we'll show a picture of so they know what we're talking about. But one of the cool things about these seats is the way they layered these. Isn't that cool?
Even within the leather, you have the perforated leather.
And in there, there's
on
some
the
more.
side.
Yeah. The different textures and styles.
Yep.
Wow, they have a great design team.
Yeah, and one of the other things that we did is the dash, even though it's carbon fiber, is wrapped in leather.
Yeah, and wow, does that feel nice.
And same with the center tunnel. And even the rear around the seats is all wrapped in leather instead of...
Deviated stitching, nicely done.
Right, instead of in a regular 911, that would all be carpeted.
And you have your Alcantara up here. So while you're driving, you can feel all these things. It's
right,
just
so the Alcantara on the roof liner and the steering wheel with the 12 o'clock matching leather and horn button.
You have the Tegur stopwatch.
We put the rally watches in really as obviously an ode to the classic racing Porsches, and I like that it tied the houndstooth in with that classic
Very cool.
feeling.
Yep. People are going to dig this, man. All the styling cues mean so much. The fact that you put that there really adds just another dimension. It really is beautiful. When you drive in the car, people don't, you forget. Once you get in the car, you lose the seats. You're sitting in the car. Now you're looking here. That's a cool thing. These little things. So it's really looking, you have this element, right? Boom. I want to see what the car is all about. Nice job, nice job. Then once you're in the car, it's a whole different perspective. So when you're looking over the hood, the stripe, when you're looking over here, the timer, the bezels around the gauges, that all means a lot. And that's where there's a lot of thought put in
Yeah, I
there.
mean, even like the headlights and the wipers and everything, it's all machined aluminum.
Yeah.
Even on the air conditioning vents, everything is custom made.
And they feel heavy. They don't feel like little plastic.
Oh no,
that's a big deal, because when you what's that tactile? That feel, you need to feel like you're in something substantial, not like some little plastic toy. Amen, man. Good job, Gunther. Thumbs up from me. I mean, they don't need my approval, but I'm very, very impressed. Carbon fiber on the doors. They have the Gunther etched into the door, the aluminum.
Yep.
And obviously, Brooklyn in the house, representing. Very cool.
Yeah. So every commission has a name.
Yeah, man.
And so we went with Brooklyn. Obviously, I live in Brooklyn.
And this will always be known as the Brooklyn Commission.
Yeah.
One of 25. Fantastic. Really, really fantastic. So let's move to the front. Let's see what's under there, and then we'll go for a ride. Can't wait. Okay, very cool. You have the remote reservoirs for the front suspension. You have carbon fiber shell here to keep everything nice and tidy.
Yep.
And nice little diamond stitch, which is always good to look at, and a clean front end. What's under here? Is that the...
Yeah, so under here we have...
oh, cool.
The battery, the lift, the front lift kit for the suspension, as well as the electric AC.
Cool. Wow, what a great use of space. Look at that.
Yeah, well, 911s always have that nice deep front box.
Yeah.
So this one, they made a little shallower, but now it's all hidden, and this looks nice and clean.
Well, you're not fitting a set of golf clubs in here, but I guess that's the trade-off, but absolutely great use of that space, because you got it all. You got it all buried underneath there, all that important stuff. And a nice finish under here, again, as expected. So the front here is nice and clean. While we're in the front over here, I just want to pop over here. You have your intakes for the brakes, right? some of the air brake, the vents for the brakes.
Yep.
And
you also have multiple radiators behind the mesh.
Okay, multiple radiators. Your oil coolers are up here as well?
Yes.
Okay, and that obviously they're getting some air there. Really nice clean front end. And I'm sorry, but I just want to drive. Can we just do that?
Of course.
Okay, man. All right, man. Let's go. Let's do it. Outstanding.
Let's put it in sport mode.
What else could you want? And it's not a heavy wheel. It feels it's a.
He's speechless.
I'm speechless because it's not too heavy, the steering. It really feels so nice.
So right now we're in sport mode, but if I take this off, you can hear it gets much quieter.
Yeah.
And now it's very compliant. Driving around the neighborhood, you're not gonna just, upset anyone. But when you want to get on it, right there, you get the pedal responsiveness changes, but also the exhaust flap opens, and you get the sound.
I'm a little bit speechless. I really am. This car feels like a race car for the street, but in the most positive way I can tell you. It's the enjoyment and the fun that you want to have in a car on the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly the goal of this car. It is, okay, you can drive it to, go get the ice cream and around town and your cars and coffees, but then you can take it to the track. You can take the Lime Rock and get on it and drive it home.
You have any plans to do that?
I don't have anything signed up or lined up right now, but
would you?
I would like to.
You're gonna have to. and that's where my speechlessness comes in. It's that, like, if I have this car, I would be very frustrated not to be able to unleash its capabilities.
Yeah.
Because this car is, you could feel it. You could feel how fun that this car is. The steering, the responsiveness,
Well, I mean, and
wow.
I'm sure you know that this car holds the air-cooled lap record at Laguna Seca.
I did not know that.
Okay, so it's the 8th fastest car overall, and by far the fastest air-cooled car.
Wow. The notchiness, what is it's got a nice throw. It's not too short. It has a little bit of an air-cooled throw to it, but yet very precise and very notchy.
It's a good short throw. It's, as you said, it's not too short.
Yeah. Suspension is not skippy. It's planted. It takes its terrain and it brings you right back.
Even through the city, it is compliant enough that you don't feel like you're being beat up.
You're not being jarred.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I mean. It's balanced so beautifully. Well, I finally got a chance to drive a Gunther, and there is absolutely no disappointment here. As a matter of fact, sometimes my expectations fall short, Sometimes they're right on line. This is one of those times. This blew away my expectations. This is a motorsports car with the ability to take it out to dinner if you really want to. But what an automobile. Very impressive. My kind of car. You feel the road. What a blast to drive. Craig, congratulations. A lot of fun. We'll see you. No way to look graceful getting out of that. But although when you're in it, it's very comfortable. Thank you so much, Craig. You know, again, for coming out with the car and trusting me behind the wheel.
My pleasure. It was fun, and hope to do it again.
We'll do it again. There's got to be something else that's coming into your garage. Thank you all for watching. This is my car. My name is David Jacobson. We'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you. Oh. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you.